As I stated earlier, this is just an overview to an introduction to the signal exercise for the utility classes in obedience. There are a number of things I realized that I'd like to add to this particular video. I hope to make sequential videos in the future as follow-ups to this introduction to show you some of the progressions and the proofing that I do with my babies, honey, for the signal exercises. Debbie, come on, get in your box, sweetheart. In your box. I know. Are you in? Back foot. Good. Wait. A couple things that are extraordinarily important when you're doing your signals is A, praise. You want to praise your dog, excuse me, for everything he does in that box right now. Because the praise will build his attitude, keep his attitude up, and with his attitude you will also get stronger attention, and attention is critical to signals. Confidence and attention. If you have confidence and attention from your dog, you can get 150 feet away and your dog will do them. Baby. Yeah, see? I talk to him, I praise, you're a good boy, and he looks at me. That's extraordinarily important, isn't it, babes? As I said earlier, I get rid of the cookie relatively fast. 3-4 days of training, the cookie's gone. I want to show you a few things that I do in the event that I get some distance. Right now I'm only like 3-4 feet away. I give my dog a signal and he does not comply. So I want to show you what I do. In the early stages, naturally, I'm going to give a second signal. I get rid of the verbal as well as fast as I can, but it's usually maybe after 3 or 4 weeks of training. I will get rid of the verbal. Howsoever, should I give a signal and my dog does not comply, what I want to do is give a second signal with a light verbal, a whisper. If he again does not comply, I'm going to assume he's having trouble, he's having difficulty. Distance will make the difficulty, will cause a lot of dogs to have difficulties doing signals because they lack the security, they lack the confidence. So, I don't want to get closer, because if I get closer, all I'm doing is feeding my dog's insecurities. I want to build my dog. I want to make him stronger. I do not want to enable my dog. Ergo, what I will do is I will give the second signal with a light verbal, and again, if he does not do as I've asked, what I will then do is go in and physically help him get into the skill I'm asking, whether it's a stand, sit, or down. You want to try that? I know, you're really bored. Okay. All right, he's in his box. Oh, no. Let's get you in your box. Come on. That's my boy. You're the man. So, let's pretend I gave him... Stand, baby. Let's pretend I gave him 2 signals. He did not do as I'd asked. I will then go in, step in, and physically guide him into his down. That's your down. And then I will give him a little, that's your down. I do not reward that, all right? I did the work. My dog did not. So I will put him back in the previous position, the position he'd been in when he made the error. That's very important. Very important. I will then go back and give, that's it, yay for you. I will then go in and reward him. Good down, excellent down, yay for you. Good boy. Now notice I went to heel position to reward him for his, for executing the particular skill I wanted, in this case the down. That is because too often I see people giving it from the front. They're drawing their dog out of the box. They're drawing their dog to them. The dog will then, once the box or the clear stick or whatever I'm using is gone, my dog is going to start taking steps because I'm where all the good things are. Ergo, I want to go back to heel position and give my dog the cookie from heel position. I know, it's so confusing, isn't it, baby? Everybody. As I said in the first video on the introduction to signals, once my dog has begun to understand the signals themselves. I drop the verbal. All right, I no longer apply the verbal. And obviously the cookie, as I said in the previous video, is gone after 3 or 4 days of training. It only comes out as a reward, either a toy or a treat. Getting distance is critical, obviously. In the ring, you're going to be between 40 and 45 feet away. I like ultimately to get about 100 feet away in training with my dog, which makes it easier in the ring, obviously. The distance is what can cause a great deal of difficulty for the dogs, because the further you're away from your dog, the less secure your dog is, the less confidence your dog has. And your dog must have confidence in his ability to work at a distance from you in order to succeed in the ring. I think people often push their dogs too fast in this exercise and don't have that confidence that is so necessary. So, once I have begun to get distance from my dog, I keep them in the box for a long while, by the way, for a number of reasons. One, it helps my dog succeed. It gives my dog that security. It gives him the parameters. Secondly, I know whether my dog has, i.e., come out of the box as I'm leaving, or doesn't do a full back concertina down, is moving forward on the sit, the stand, whatever. The box keeps us both honest, in other words, and it's a help aid, a great help aid. So I keep my dog in the box for quite some time. If I'm in a situation where I'm unable to take my dog off leash, or for security purposes, I'm near a road or something like that, I will keep him on a flexi. But if I'm in a safe area, I don't use a tether of any sort, because I want my dog to be able to work without the umbilical cord, as I call it. So, getting distance. Stand. Good boy. I'm going to leave my dog. I'm going to go out. Once I establish this distance, and I've worked my dog through it, and he's begun to succeed, 3, 5, 8 training sessions, I will start taking more strides back. And I take them one stride at a time. I build gradually. I don't go from being this close and immediately going back another 10 feet. I just don't do that. I go in increments. It's a gradual procession backwards and away from my dog. Big boy. You are beautiful. Yeah. Good boy. You are the man. Yay for you. Let me get closer. Again, when I'm going to reward my dog, I'm still going to come back to heel position. I praise, talk to him a lot, because I want him looking at me. I want him having that confidence. It's my job as a trainer, I know, honey, to build his confidence on that. Sit, babes. Good boy. Okay, I want to repeat, because this, I think, is very, very important, and that is, if my dog makes the same mistake twice in a row, I am going to assume he's got a problem. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to say he knows this, because obviously he's having difficulty. It's my job as his trainer to help him through this period. I don't want to glide over it, make excuses. I just immediately assume he's got a problem, and I'm going to help him get his confidence back and understand it. Now, what I will do is I will physically go in and help him succeed at whatever skill it is, whether it's the stand, the down, or the sit. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I do not correct during the teaching phase. There is, for me, a correction stage, but not during the teaching phase. During the teaching phase, I want to teach my dog. I want him to understand. I want him to succeed. So that's my job. Once I've shown my dog how to succeed, Then I am going to go back to the same position that I had been in, the same distance. Okay, Debbie, come here, sweetheart. So, for example, he's in his box. Let's say he didn't do his sit from the stand. What I would do is go in, I would take his collar with my non-signal hand, give him his signal. Good, that's your sit. Now notice I am giving him a check. I don't want him thinking every time I come in it's just to pet him, because then he's never going to do it. He'll quickly learn that that is his reward. So I don't want to make it, I don't want to bring down his security, his confidence. I want to build it. So I'm not going to come in and just make it all fun and games. Stand. I then will put him back in the position he'd been in prior to making the mistake, and my showing him how to do it. I do not want him to continue and not succeed himself. I go back to the same position I had been in prior to his making the mistake. I do not want to get closer. If I get closer, I'm not helping him develop his security, his confidence. I'm feeding that insecurity. I want to go back here to where I've been previously and give him his signal, and he is so good. He is just such a good sit, such a good look. You did it. I come back to heel position. Good sit, baby. Good boy. That was so good. Look. Yeah. Okay? And that's how I gradually get my distance on my dog until I'm either at the end of the flexi or the 40 to 50 feet away. At that point, to get further is proofing, which I will do in a future video. Thank you. Okay, again, I want to show you how I physically help my dog do that signal down if I have to go in. I neglected to say that, and this is across the board in almost everything I'm teaching when I'm teaching my dog. If my dog makes a mistake twice in a row, the same mistake twice in a row, I'm going to assume immediately. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to assume he's got a problem. And I'm going to go in and help him, because that's my job as the trainer. So let's assume I gave Devon 2 downs. He did not comply. He's confused, or the distance has made him insecure. He's not sure. I don't care what it is. What I need to do is go in and help him 2 times in a row. Step, honey. Not out. Come on. Debbie, let's get in your box. So what I'm going to do is, I want to show you again. I'm going to put my hand under his collar, my fingers alongside his shoulder, and I'm going to give him the signal with my signal hand, and down. You get down. That's your down. You can do it. You can. Stand. Then I'll go back to my position I was in when he made the error and give him his signal. At that point, I will go into heel position. I don't have to go around behind him, and I will reward him there. Good down, good down. Now, I always repeat the skill, the command for the skill in my praise, so that I am repeating it and he knows precisely why he got the treat, got the reward. All right? I also keep eye contact with my dogs when I'm doing this. Oh, good look, because the attention is critical. Without attention, I am in nowhere land. So sometimes I'm going to randomly release him. Stand. Good look. Good boy. 2, 3. Okay, you get that. Good look. That was good look. Yeah. So he wants to look at me. Yay for you. Yeah, you want to look at me. That makes it even more fun, huh? Yeah, give. Good boy. All right, sit. Yeah, that's my good boy. Thank you so much.